Good evening. Here we are. So 9 p.m. GMT, and yeah, we're just going to look at some of the election results as they come in. So just waiting for Mandela, and to be honest, if he doesn't show, it's not going to be much of a show. So I'm hoping to run through some of the charts with Mandela when he gets here, and I'm looking to share some of the biased news actually from Fox News and then from CNBC as well. So yeah, it'd be quite good to just get an outlook for what they're saying. So yeah, welcome to the show. Didn't expect to be starting on my own. So Mandela, if you're watching, please feel free to jump on. And yeah, what we'll do, we'll actually switch over to one of the news outlets and let's see what's going on.
To exercise their right to vote. 12:57 is the time here on the East Coast. So let's go to our final 2-minute commercial break of the hour. We'll be right back.
Yeah, great timing, straight into a commercial break. So let's have a look what's happening on the next channel. Yes, what? Yeah, just going to move that out at the moment. Mandela to the rescue. But yeah, what we're seeing at the moment in the UK is it's still 50-50 split. They're quite unsure on the swing states yet. There seems to be a little bit more momentum from X for Trump. But then if you go over to the UK sites, which is the BBC, they seem to be leaning quite heavy towards Harris. So, yes, quite interesting at the moment. And we're probably going to be online for another hour. But welcome, Mandela, and you've just saved me.
Thank you, Andrew. How did I save you? What did I miss? Did I miss something exciting?
Yeah, the first couple of minutes. That was like, okay, here we go, on my own.
Yeah. No, it's not gonna be that type of show. I had some issues with the microphone, but good evening, everybody, and welcome to our U.S. presidential election show. This is exciting. I heard you talking a bit about the different sources. I like the video there of looks like a polling station going on. I think tonight's show is just going to be fun. We have invited, I think, a few people from the community. We've also spoken to quite a few people who we may get a special guest here or there. We'll have to see.
Yeah. So what I'm looking at, I'm trying to be like impartial, and I will say who my opinion will be soon. But yes, I'm just looking at CNBC, looking at Fox, and then I got the BBC from the UK. I'll be quite honest, the BBC. The last 2 years, I don't think they're a credible source anymore, if I'm honest. That's just my opinion. Mm-hmm. And yeah, they're heavily leaning towards Harris. And that's all I keep seeing is, Trump bad, Orange man no good. But yeah, we'll talk about a few of, the pros and cons of both candidates, as we go on. But yeah, we've actually got another show, so it's called Cobra Cast, and some guys from the USA, and yeah, they've actually got a good stream up. So yeah, they've actually got Fox News, which would be quite similar to us. But I don't know if you're going to say on air, but who are you hoping for?
I'm going to take a very interesting stance. So I'm not American. So I am just hoping that we do get some sort of certainty. If we can get a decision tonight, Andrew, or let's say tomorrow for UK time, then I think that's good from where I'm sitting. I think both candidates have their pros and cons, and they both have their abilities and limitations. But I'm not a supporter of one over the other. I just want a decision and then be able to move on. And call me selfish, but that's my position. What about you?
Yeah, no, that's a very political correct answer. Well done on that. Yeah. No, so for myself, yeah, I'm not from the US, but it does affect me massively. First of all, I trade the gold and dollar. So the outcome on the dollar does have a big impact onto my, my daily trading needs. That's first of all. Secondly, as well, the US, it is the biggest player, right? And the US foreign policy also has an impact on myself, with regards to, political tensions around the world. So, that's quite important to myself. And also being an active traveler, the US does dictate in a way, certain restrictions on countries, which has an impact on the UK as well. So yeah, for me, it is an important election, and from what I've seen so far, Harris isn't the one for me. I think Biden 4 years ago, yeah, potentially quite good, but I think they swapped Biden out too late. And for me now, yeah, potentially Trump. He's the lesser of the two evils, if I'm honest. End of the day, the pair of them are multimillionaires and they don't live in our world. But this time, Trump's got a better team around him than his first term. So the likes of Elon Musk, Vance, even Tucker Carlson to a point. I think he's got a bit more grounded team around him, going forward. So for myself, the lesser of the two evils would be Donald Trump, but was it 35 million people in America, or maybe more than that, right? That's the best two candidates. It's not great, right? But But for me, I'm willing to take, all the comments, all the phobes going. But for me, I'm pro Trump this time. But talk to me in 4 years' time. Let's see where we're at. So yeah, I'm pretty much in the middle. But I will say my values in life are probably more conservative than what they would Democrats. So
okay. I mean, that's fair. I mean, I like the rationale behind it and the thinking process behind it, and it makes sense. I mean, you are a world traveler, and I think you're looking at what's impacting you. And
yeah, for sure.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I would like to see a little bit of shape. I don't take any sides on any conflict, so whether it be Ukraine, Russia, or Israel, Palestine, people are people, life's life, right? And I would like to see that be addressed somehow and, get some de-escalation of what's going on around the world.
Yeah, I think that is very important. And whoever is able to achieve that, I think that should be priority number one. People shouldn't be dying. Yeah.
I'll also go back to my time I was in New York in 2019. I was actually working in Manhattan and Long Island, and this was probably 6 months before COVID hit. And I was at, you know me, I'm not afraid to ask a question. So I was around Manhattan, I was in the bars, I was just asking people, at that time, Trump or Biden, and I'd say 9 out of 10 people all said to me Trump. But if you look at the UK news at the time, Trump was just, in the UK, he was labelled as an idiot, labelled as a clown, orange man. So I said, why Trump? What's so special about Trump? And the answer was the same. Trump puts dollars in my pocket. And that was it. The economy in the US was doing relatively well at the time. Obviously, COVID hit, and I think that just had a major impact, on the political parties at the time. So yeah, I would be interested to see what he can do in his second term, and I just think he's just got a much better team around him this time. Obviously with Elon Musk, he probably is the most successful person on the planet, right? And I just have a feeling, he'll play a major part in Trump's cabinet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting. With
I think
Harris,
strategically, it's great. It's great.
yeah, with Harris, with Waltz, I don't see what they got in reserve as a team. I think some of their policies are good. I think some of their ideas, they're sensible, they're reasonable, but I don't see a strength in depth with that team at the moment. Maybe in 4 years' time, things could change.
Yeah, I think it'll be very very interesting to see what happens tomorrow in terms of all the potential outcomes. And yeah, you made a good point there. It's not just the person; it's also the team behind them, the support system, and what they can achieve as a team.
Yeah, for sure. And another thing, I'll say this live on air as well. I'm not a believer in socialism. Absolutely not. I am a capitalist without a doubt. I believe in free enterprise, and I believe you get out of life what you make it, right? And just living here in the UK now, we've had a new government in power for a matter of months, and it's not good. It's not looking good at the moment. So I think Trump and his, I don't know what we call him in the US. We call him a cabinet in the UK. I just think his cabinet would shake things up. They're a little bit more, thinking outside of the box. So it's not really, Trump's not the ticket for me. It's who he's got in reserve. I quite like Vance. I think he could be a good president one day. So yes, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting that the Democrats initially put forward Biden, and then they realized very quickly after, I think, one of the debates that they needed to find somebody else, and then they ended up going with the vice president.
What I didn't appreciate with Biden was, and I've actually wrote it on Twitter, if you can look back, I think is when he had that debate with Trump, and people were laughing at Biden, because he couldn't answer the questions. I actually felt sorry for him. He should never have been put in that position. And I think that was wrong of the Democrat Party to do that. They knew he wasn't up to it, but they kept pushing him. They kept telling us that he's fine. There was nothing wrong. But obviously, he's reached that age where, he just needs to chill out. He needs to retire and enjoy the rest of his life, right? But they didn't do that. And then with Harris, they just put her forward as a candidate. So my understanding of the US, that should have gone to a vote, right? But they just put her forward as well. So that didn't sit well with myself either. So yeah, there's a couple of reasons why. But yeah, I think this time Trump, I don't think it's just him. I think Vance will have a good input. I think Musk, he knows how to run a business lean. And I think he would be good for the economy. I think it will be painful for the first year while they try and sort things out. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But I'm just looking at the BBC now, who's winning in the swing state polls. So at the moment, it's looking favourable for Trump, but we know that can change in a matter of hours, right? So, we won't know the result probably till, what will it be, probably midday tomorrow in the UK?
Yeah, I think so. I was looking at a table earlier, so it depends. It really depends on how close it is. But yeah, it could be anywhere from, I think the earliest it's been around 5 a.m. The following day in the UK, but it could definitely take more like days into weeks. So I think the longest that it's ever recently, the longest that it's taken, I think it was 5 weeks. That was the 20,000. So 2000. Bush won, but it was Florida. It came down to Florida, and it took them 5 weeks from election day. So hopefully we don't have to wait 5 weeks from today. But yeah, it all depends.
Yeah, so they say in the results.
Sorry, that's a fire alarm in my building.
Right, you have an evacuator for you.
I hope not. Maybe they know something about the election that I don't know.
Yes, I'm just trying to find the just trying to find the Fox News channel if I can find that live. I don't know if you got that. You might know it better than me.
Let's see if we can find it. Yeah.
This could be it here. Live latest elections. Have a quick look what we got
Are we okay to put it up with all the? I'm just thinking of Vince McMahon, what he did to us last time.
Yeah, no, it's a little bit different. I think if they stream in live on YouTube, we can share the information. So, hi Asha, how you doing? Yeah, welcome to the show.
Hey,
yeah, any comments or if you'd like to join, let us know and we can send you the link for StreamYard.
It'd be great. It would be great to have you on if you can. Just send us either send a message in YouTube, or you can just send me a quick message. It'd be nice to get you on, even if it's just for a few minutes.
Yes, I'm just gonna try and get back to StreamYard here. Yeah, so yeah, we got what we got here. We got CBS. I'm on the wrong channel. I tell you what, I got so many tabs open. So CBS. I wanted to get to Fox. What's this one? Right. Okay, yeah, it'd help if I go to the right channel. But yeah, so that's my input on it. It's quite hard to comment through it. What's going on? It's going to be interesting. I don't know. What do you think? Who do you think is going to win? That's okay. If you're a betting man, here we go.
If I'm a betting man, I would say that Trump takes it. I'm not saying what I think should happen. I'm just saying if I'm a betting man, I do think that there's what we may call the Trump surprise, and that's who I would go with. What about you?
Yeah. Okay, Suarez, I don't really follow the mainstream media anymore because I'm real disheartened by the BBC over the last 2 years. Not happy with their coverage on certain events in the UK. They seem to be quite censored at the moment. So I'm taking a lot of news from X. The problem with X is obviously since Elon bought it and he's endorsed Trump, a lot of the news on X is pro-Trump as well. So like I said to you, I do sit in the middle. I do think to the left, I do think to the right. But from everyone I follow, genuinely follow, everyone is Trump at the moment. So yeah, I'm probably 60-40 for Trump at the moment.
64. Okay. So that's the betting man in you.
That's
right.
Yeah, that's the betting man in me. Yeah. So.
Okay. We did get a response from Asha. Just wanted to address that. So she said for right now she's okay in terms of joining. But please, if you have questions, Asha, or anything you want us to talk about, any topics that you want us to cover, please just send it in the chat. Yeah.
So for myself, I think we are going to see a push up on gold. Obviously, we are traders. That's what we do. And I'm covering this really from a trading point of view. I've given my personal opinion on why I think Trump could be better, but I don't think Trump's better. I think it's the cabinet he's got, it's the people he's got behind him. I think they're stronger than the Harris-Walz campaign. But for me, we could see a gold moving upwards tonight through the Asian session, and I think the reason for that will be is that any uncertainty in the dollar, they're going to put it into Bitcoin and gold. I think Bitcoin's at a pump as well. So yeah, I do expect to see that. And then what I'll do then is I'll pick up the tailings of this election probably Friday, Monday morning. I'll start trading again then. So yeah, so that's it on my opinion, really.
That's good. That's good. I was gonna just have a quick look at the chart because I haven't actually looked. I didn't have a look today at what was going on. So I'm gonna have a quick look at gold. You had some good trades this morning. Feels like ages ago.
Yeah, in fairness, we were online. What was it? 6 a.m. this morning. So what was that? 15 hours ago. So yeah, we're doing well. Two streams in one day. But at the moment, gold's just gone into consolidation at the moment. So that's just showing, there's no buyers, no sellers. So looks like we're going to be waiting for a result before, we get any of that money moving. But overall, all the charts from M1 up to H1 are all bullish. So yeah, potentially we could see some of the safe money actually buying gold in the Asian session tonight. But that can change. We're probably in one of the most volatile situations, in the last 4 years, right? So, we could see, we could see the markets get spooked. So I know Jim Cramer's come on and he said the markets are bullish on Harris. So if I was a betting man, I'd definitely be going for Trump.
Yeah, he does not have the best track record. That's for sure.
but before myself, I'll quickly go over to gold. So yeah, we're on the M30 chart, and we can see we got this nice move up. So we got a lower low here, higher high, lower low, and I'd probably expect this price to push through this supply or resistance level and create a higher high here. Once we get up to this level, I think things will get interesting. So this is what I'm expecting to see potentially is this sort of push here, back down, and potentially here. So I'd be looking at that if I was to trade gold. I'm not going to. It's too volatile. It's too unpredictable. But yeah, I'd be expecting to see that through the Asian session tonight. Like I say, I've got this indicator here, which is scanning all the charts for the direction, and everything showing bullish at the moment. But depending on the results, don't get me wrong, if we get an unexpected swing state in, we could see this price reverse pretty quickly. So
yeah, I like that. What's that price level at the top one on the futures?
We're at 27.67. So I think on Forex or spot, that'll be 27.57.
Okay. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see. So tomorrow morning, there's not going to be, we won't have a show, but I think we should follow up and see what happens.
I'm probably going to watch this till about, I know I'm going to be on Twitter all night, right? I'm going to be watching this. So I've actually booked some time off work tomorrow morning. So it's quite funny doing my holiday request. It's like, reason why you want time off work. And it was, I want to watch the election result. So forget football, forget soccer, forget baseball. This is my sporting event of the year. So I've got some quality snacks, got some chocolate next to me. I've actually got a nice pint of beer.
Did you put that in the request? In the reason?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I said it's the US election. Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. And it was granted.
It was granted. It was granted with a lol. Yeah. So this is what I'd be looking at tonight. So if I was to take a trade, what I might do is just leave these charts marked up, and we can review them tomorrow to see if we're there or thereabout. So yeah, if I was to trade gold, I'd be looking at that for sure.
Yeah, yes. I think that's a good shout. I think I find that gold tends to do well after we get some sort of certainty or some good news or some, so I think that there is a very good chance that we see a surprise move in gold in the next 24 or 48 hours.
Yeah, and I would be surprised to see a downward move. I think regardless who wins the election, I think safe money will be into gold and Bitcoin, and potentially silver as well. That's a dark horse to watch. So I'd keep your eye on the silver chart as well. I just think smart money will go into precious metals and virtual gold, right? So that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, we don't trade silver that much. But, well, that's not completely true, but we don't touch on silver. But I find it's very highly correlated with gold and moves very similar to gold. And then you started looking at copper at one point a few weeks ago.
Yes,
So,
copper had a great day today. So copper's done well. Doesn't correlate with gold as much.
yeah.
But what I do find with the metals, they do follow a similar trend. But for myself, I'm just locked in on gold with the futures trading. It's all I trade, right? So
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm just going to share another screen with you. These are some guys I follow. They're all pro Trump and unapologetically Trump as well. They say it as it is. So this guy, his name's Jeremy, and he's been following the campaign from day one. He's been streaming 5 or 6 hours a day. He's covered every conference, for the DNC, Trump's rallies, you name it, he's done it. So I just want to share them for a few minutes while we just talk and have a listen to what they're saying.
Sorry, I forgot you were here. But yeah, she was a very good politician. I'll say that. Anyway, so she was really good being a politician and spinning bullshit narratives and all that. Kamala Harris is just straight up dumb. She's a very dumb person. So anyway. So
like I said, they quite bias a little bit more than us, right? But he's a diehard Trump fan, and I respect him for that. He says it as it is, and he's not afraid to say how much he supports Trump. So I'll give him respect for that. I don't agree with all his opinions, but he does cover the news quite well.
Yeah, that's
Well,
that's
a
cool.
woman what to do with her body. I mean, that's
Oh my
that's up to a
God!
doctor
Shut
and
the
a-
I'm voting for
fuck up.
Kamala
One
because
of the
I
things
want to
really
kill
like is the,
my
no
child.
tax on overtime. I'm a worker, so as you can see, I work. So that will help out tremendously, and that alone got my vote.
I think he's going to propose and implement more tax cuts like he's talked about, and that affects small businesses.
Yeah, so just for myself, just apologies for the bad language that's going to come through on this stream, but it is after 9 p.m. It is after the watershed, so yeah, apologies in advance.
Women, so read into that however you'd like. The Secretary of State's office says Election Day turnout has also been strong. And if that continues into this evening, polls close at 8 or 9 Eastern, depending on which part of the state you're in. She says that there could be a record. It could break the record set back in 2020. And finally, some good news, Neil, for those who like to sleep. They're expecting results fairly early here in Michigan, perhaps even as early as midnight tonight. So not like some of those other states where they can't start counting those early and mail-in ballots until Election Day.
So Mandela, what's midnight ET?
So that's 5 o'clock, 5 London.
All right, okay, yeah. So I can't.
So we'll be waking up. Yeah,
I can't keep up with the US times, to be honest. So
yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
So it's basically when we wake up in the morning. Usually, yeah.
Yeah. So it's quite a good stream to watch. They're quite funny guys, to be honest. So we got this guy Jeremy Prime. He's like the CEO of a channel called Geeks and Gamers, and I think Beardo and Savvy, they're all like they're gaming geeks or gaming nerds, they call themselves, and so they all follow pop culture, and they do like lots of reviews on new shows, games that's been released, etc. And they do talk about what's going on in Hollywood and AAA gaming. So they're quite a good show. But obviously they are quite opinionated and they are pro-Trump. So you just have to take some of what they say with a pinch of salt.
Hundreds. So if it doesn't match that, who stayed home and why? And I think so many of our questions will come to that. Which group stayed home and why?
Donald Trump has been running for 2 years. Kamala Harris has been running for 107 days. So one of my big questions is, particularly with her candidacy, is whether that was just enough time to introduce herself to the country and to candidates who were dead set on voting for a Democrat, weren't so sure about him, or whether she could have used a little bit more time.
Oh, you mean like?
Yeah. So another thing for myself, I'd say with Harris versus Trump was like what's she been doing for the last 3 years. That's another concern of mine as well. she's promised all these new initiatives that she's going to do. She's going to do X, Y, Z, but she's been the VP, right? And yeah, so what has she done in the last 3 years? And so yeah, that's another like red flag for myself for her presidency going forward.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to stay neutral here, and I would just, I guess, push back a little and just say that she was the co-pilot, and I guess Joe Biden was the pilot. So I feel like her hands are probably tied with many of the things that did come before Joe Biden or his decisions. But I mean, I do take your point.
Yeah,
I do take your point.
Yeah, and likewise as well. I agree with what you say, and I don't understand the exact role of the VP. But you and I, we share a show, right? And sometimes you lead, sometimes I'm the VP, and vice versa. But if I go off the rails, if I do something on the show you're not happy with, you're quick enough to pull me up. So with a team end of the day, and I just can't think of anything that she's done in the last 3 years. I think, Harris done that, Harris done this. I just can't think of anything that's been, that really stands out to me as the VP. But then again, I'll say the same for Trump. He's made some crazy promises on the campaign trail, which I just think he can't deliver. Yeah. And that's why I just think it's the lesser of two evils, because my opinion of politicians, they're all the same. They'll say anything to get elected, even in the UK. We've been promised so much in the UK, and once Labour got into power, they've just totally gone back on their manifesto. So, yeah. So that's my opinion on it, but we'll see. So you probably got more. Well, you definitely got more experience than me. So just looking at some of these, the polls and what they're showing, can you maybe give me an insight to what we're looking at? I can see these numbers 6 popping up and this and that.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say I'm an expert. I would just say I have a basic understanding of, I guess, the U.S. election process, and because the U.S. is such a vast country, you'll have various polling stations or polling areas close as you move west, from east to west. So you'll get the East Coast closing, I believe, at 11 o'clock our time, which is about 7 Eastern time. So, for example, polling stations in Boston and New York and I believe Florida, they'll start closing in the next hour and a half. And then the last sort of area to stop counting will be over on the West Coast. So California and I believe Hawaii is the very last one to stop. And then the polls, I think they're using a combination of asking people as they exit the polling station, similar to what I guess what they would do out here, to give an idea about who's voting for whom. And I don't know exactly. I mean, I feel like they're never 100% accurate. But I do think that people tend to lean into these polls, and then oftentimes it's almost like investing or trading, where a lot of people are saying, "Oh, gold should go up today," but it doesn't necessarily mean that it will in fact happen. So I don't put too much into these polls, as I look at them as estimates, and I mean, until we have a final decision and there's some sort of conceding, that's another part of it, is will the losing candidate concede victory? All these things are sort of up in the air at this point. So
yeah, and I can't see either party conceding easily either, especially if it's close. I think both parties will cry foul, for sure. Trump definitely will. He has a history of it, right? So we know that. So he's not going to take the result lying down. And I think if it is close, I think that, the Democrats as well, I think they're going to potentially ask for recounts or just to confirm certain states again.
Yeah, I could see that. I definitely could see that happening. Some might say that it's all part of the process and it's legitimate. But it does kind of put a damper on the whole election procedure when you kind of have it drawn out and
it also takes away some of the integrity of both parties, right? So like I said, I think they're as bad as each other. Not one of those politicians has walked in our shoes, right? They were all born with a silver spoon in their mouth, in my opinion. And I just think it does throw into doubt, the integrity of what they're trying to do and the integrity of the parties as well. So it will be interesting to see if one of the parties does concede at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. I can't see it. I'm saying 60-40 Trump, but I think it might be a little bit closer than that. What I can see, the nation seems quite split who they're going to vote for. So
I've seen that as well. I mean, I do remember way back in 2016, it was between Trump and Hillary Clinton, and it was exactly at 8 a.m. GMT, 8 a.m. in London, which would have been 3 a.m. on election night. Hillary Clinton called Donald Trump and congratulated him. So it could be done. It could be done.
That was a massive surprise as well, because I can remember going to bed that night and it was nailed on. It was Hillary, right? And and I think even some of the TV shows they done, like Netflix, etc. It was Madam President, right? They done them like a year in advance. So that was a surprise. We're just looking at some of the swing states here. At the moment, just looking at the BBC, which I don't give them much credit at all at the moment, but I'll just share this. So at the moment, it looks like Trump's ahead, if I'm reading that right.
Yes, I believe so. Margin of lead. So looks like, for example, Pennsylvania, looks like Harris, Nevada, Trump. I'm trying to read this right. Let's see. What does that mean? Less than one. I'm not exactly sure how to read that, if I'm being completely honest.
I'm just looking at the colors and I just see both Trump at the moment. I'm just doing some basic arithmetic. So I'm just like, that cancels that, right?
And then Trump's up
+2
by 1.
+2 here. So Trump's up +1. But that's why I'm seeing it at the moment. I think Michigan's nailed on for the Democrats, right? I think they're quite strong there. So
I think so. What else they got? They got a lot of colorful diagrams.
Yes, I say at the moment, leading the national polls, we got Harris ahead by 48 to 47. But that's not what I'm seeing on the US news. Just seen a totally different graphic from that. Presidential debate. It looks like Trump's clawed it back, but I can remember the time around here, they were saying Trump was well ahead. So again, I would question the BBC on that. Swing states. This is where it is important. I think last time Trump didn't win any of the swing states, right? Or I think he might have just won one. So it seems a lot closer this time around. And if we're just looking at the moment, polling averages at the moment. So I'm just looking at it like a Forex chart, right? So at the moment, like a nice EMA crossover here. At the moment, Trump's pulling away. Arizona, Georgia's quite close. Nevada's extremely close. So yeah, it's quite interesting at the moment. So
It's interesting how the data is compiled on this stuff. It's a very fascinating. I wonder who pulls all this data. I mean, people probably say the same thing about the markets. But,
yeah, I could imagine. You know, they got the like election analysts on it, right? But yeah, it'd be quite interesting just to go back to some of these. Let me just go back to this one here.
So is this live? This one's live?
Yeah, so these guys are live and they're going to be on it until close.
Oh my gosh. Well.
Yeah, so in fairness, they've covered every rally, both parties. But obviously, you can imagine, you know, Trump's rallies have been the best and Harris's have been awful.
Yeah.
You know, because they are biased. But you know, that's a prerogative. That's up to them, right? But yeah, we're just seeing here now, Pennsylvania seems to be showing majority of Trump.
Yeah, I keep hearing Pennsylvania is a big one. So it'll be interesting to see what they decide.
And yeah, these guys, they keep going back and forth to Twitter, but like I said, you know, since Elon, you know, sided with Trump, I think X or Twitter, you know, it's been very one-sided as well. Like, I'll say that. So you know, I won't be too. I'll take Twitter with a pinch of salt as well tonight. You know, I wouldn't rely on Twitter for who's winning.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, but for myself, if I was in either camp, I'd probably put out less favorable news just to get people to get out and vote. You know, I know that that's a tactic they use in South America quite often. They definitely used it in Mexico in the 80s, where they'd actually say the favorable candidate was losing just to make sure people got out and cast their vote. And I'm sure the US, you know, they know how to do that. I can imagine they taught the Mexicans how to do it in the 80s. So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that actually makes sense. It's like a little bit of like reverse psychology in a way, kind of scare tactic.
Yeah, so it just tells people, you know, not to take it for granted, right? Don't take the result for granted, and just get out and vote. Yeah. So I'm gonna try and swap over to Bitcoin. So quick look at Bitcoin's up to. Who should we take? Do you have any preferred broker? Should we go with?
Either one.
Let me have a quick look what we got then. I've only got futures on my chart, so nice. Have a quick look if I can find Bitcoin US dollar.
I have one if you need it.
Yeah, do you want to share yours?
Yeah, sure. Here we go. Anybody in the chat, please just share any charts, any tickers that you want us to look at.
Yeah, so I would say I was planning the cameras on tonight, but it's Movember in the UK. So in Movember, what we do is we raise money for like men's mental health and, you know, men's health problems. So the idea of Movember is you have a clean shave and then you grow yourself a mustache for 30 days. So I had a shave, left the mustache on, I was ready. And then I just had a full Britney Spears moment and then just took the razor to myself. And I just looked like one of those bald Egyptian cats. So, the camera's off until I can get my beard back. So, I'm feeling a bit vulnerable. A little bit like Samson without his hair. So, camera off for the next couple of weeks.
Let it grow back first, I guess.
Yeah, just give anyone any nightmares tonight, or, you know, put them off their supper or something. So.
All right, let's talk about Bitcoin. So we have, this was just today. Looked like this is the Asian range. So it tried to make a move higher and then kind of paused a little. If we zoom out a bit, can maybe get a better idea of where we are. Overall, there we go. So we did get almost up to the all-time high. We were talking about this a little while ago, Andrew, where we talked about maybe we won't actually break through. We'll get a pullback, and that's kind of where we are now.
Yeah, I think we said we would. Let me have a quick look. I don't know if you still got it on the chart. I think we said we'd get in around 60, 65, didn't we?
Yeah, it was something like that. It was somewhere around here.
We can put a stop loss up below that, so that would have been a great trade if you'd taken that.
Yeah, I agree. I think what we said was 65 is somewhere around here. Yeah, so somewhere here, I guess. Yeah,
we look at putting our stops just below that that previous low leg, right? So yeah, that would have been a great trade actually. Never mind. Yeah. So for myself, just looking at that chart, Bitcoin's bullish, right? Just looking at that, I can see lower low, lower high, lower high, higher high. Yeah, I'm just seeing even if you just look at it from an Elliott wave point of view, just seems to be moving up quite nicely. So we could see a pullback to another lower high. Try and get the terminology right.
Higher low.
That's right, higher low. That's correct. Yes. I can see us forming another higher low before we get up to another higher high. So I wouldn't be surprised if we break that all-time high potentially within the next week or two, especially now where there's going to be uncertainty in the US dollar. Bitcoin's looking pretty good. What I would say is now is not the time to be buying, right? All-time highs, there's no guarantee where you're going from there. I believe price has like what I call like muscle memory. Yes, it'll go back to its support, go back to its resistance. But once you get up to those all-time highs, you're in no man's land, and there's no guarantee then that you can keep creating all-time highs. So right now, I don't think it's the best time to get into Bitcoin, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a push up to around $75,000 to $80,000.
Yeah, that would put us up. Yeah, the 80,000 is a good round number. So the previous all-time high was down here. It was a 69 back in 2021, and then I do think that we could see just a bit of craziness in this week. I don't know, something making me feel like it's possible.
Definitely, depending on this result, there's going to be what I'd call scared money, right? So people are going to have one or two unload those dollars. They might be a bit afraid, the dollar's going to take a bit of a plunge, and they're going to put that money into Bitcoin or gold. So we could see a new all-time high, but once we got up to that new all-time high, I'd probably take the other side of that trade, and I'd be looking for a sell opportunity. Yeah.
The all-time high is right here. This is the all-time high price. So we're like, we almost touched it. It's so close. I think you're right, Andrew. It could kind of hit the all-time high, and then we get a reversal.
Yeah, and it could just be a pullback before we go up to other all-time highs. What happens with Bitcoin, right, is once it hits an all-time high, you and I will get many messages on WhatsApp. Shall I buy Bitcoin? We always get that question, right? We've told people, try and get in at the lows. For me, anything under 30K, I think is a good buy. But because the price is, like retraced, like 50%, people won't go near it. And then once it gets up to 70K, we get an influx of new money or liquidity. Yeah, and then that's when we look at the institutes or the big traders, and they just dump their order, right? Just take out all their stop losses, take out their profit, and then they buy on the cheap. Yeah.
I mean, you're right. I think you made a good point, which is this was the low, this was a higher low, and then this was a higher low. So we could, as long as we don't come back here, then I think this is kind of fair game for a pullback, like you said. Maybe we get a little bit of a down move first.
But what I think we'll see is we'll see that price push the all-time high. We'll get it's after 9 o'clock, so yeah, we can get a shitload of new money in, right? So people are going to buy because they think they're going to miss out. They're going to think they're going to miss out on that $1 million Bitcoin. So people, these retail traders, like us, right? The small-time traders, they're going to panic. They're going to buy, and then the institutes, the banks, the large holders, they just dump their coin and they'll take that price back down to that 38 fib level. We'll all be stopped out, and then they'll buy it all back up on the cheap. And then the price will push higher again. Then what happens then? The price will push up to about 80K. Yeah. All the new money again. Oh my God, I'm missing out on Bitcoin. Everyone will buy again. And it's just rinse and repeat, right? They just keep doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And you can just see that on the chart, right? So, it's... where you've marked in those lower highs or lower lows, they were the opportunities to get in. But people are thinking, the market's retracing there, or the market's in reversal, so they won't buy. And then once it gets up to the all-time high, people start, getting into the action, and then the market pulls back.
Yep, it's just the cycle. It's just it happens every day, every week, every month. You get these sort of, I guess these are the highs, and then you get the pullback. You get a little higher pullback, and then we just got the high.
Yeah, so where you can see those highs, that's the fresh liquidity coming in. That's like the new buyers. And then once we get up to those points, you can see it actually stalls, right? And then we get the pullback. And that's where the institutions or the whales are selling. And then people getting stopped out at that next lower high, and then they just buy in back in, pushing the price back up. And it's not market manipulation, but it's definitely it is in a way, right? It's like some sort of psychology. And people are on the wrong end of the trade.
Yeah. Majority of people are always gonna be on the wrong end. But it happens every single time where everybody's getting long here and everybody's trying to short here. That's exactly what you said.
Yeah, and the best example I can give, when Bitcoin started to take off, it got up to 30K, and someone said to me, should I buy in at 30K? And I said, don't buy, it's going to be a pullback. So it pulled back to about 16K at the time. And they sent me a text message or sent me a message on WhatsApp, and they just said, I was so glad I didn't get into that shit. I'm like, no, and I'm like, no, that was the time to get into it, right? And then the price pushed up to 45. Then I get a message, should I buy Bitcoin? And I said, no, not yet. And it dropped back down to 30. And again, I'm so glad I didn't get, into that. And I said, no, now is your time to buy. You're like one step out of the cycle, if that makes sense, right?
They need to be recalibrated. Like it's
exactly that. That's a perfect way to put it.
Because when you think of it, I think it's partially, and we've talked about this, the human nature. The human nature is that you want to be doing what everybody else is doing because you think that's safe. So if everybody else is buying, let's say, let's just pick a spot. If everybody else is buying here, then you feel like, okay, at least there's some safety in numbers. And then what happens is we get that. So what you should be doing here is actually either not doing anything at all, or if you do have the tools to short, then you could short. And then once we get here, everybody's saying it's going to zero. Everybody's saying it's going this way. And then human nature is saying, don't touch this. This is not a good idea. But like you were telling the person that was asking you, this is the place to buy.
Yeah. And even if it does dump, right, but your loss is going to be minimal. It's going to be a small loss, right? But but it's quite hard, to explain that to people and for people to understand. So Bitcoin, I think we will see an all-time high within the next week or so. But
Yeah.
then I would be very wary of buying. I'll be looking for the next pullback to the next lower high for sure.
Yeah. So in terms of overall trend, you think higher, but in terms of entry, to just be cautious. Look for pullbacks.
I think we will get a pump up, and I think the people that got in around that. Let me have a quick look. Between the 38 and 50 level, I think they'll be sitting nice. They can get this stop into profit or break even. I think.
So you're talking about way back. You said from 30K.
Sorry, no. I was looking at the fib level.
Sorry. Okay, I thought you were talking about 30K.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was looking.
So fib level here.
No.
Can
I get control of your screen? Can I do that? I can't. Can I?
Maybe. I don't know.
Can I request control?
No, you can definitely do it. You can definitely do it with Teams.
Yeah.
And with Zoom.
Yeah, there's nothing like being live and having a tech issue. Okay, so for myself, I would say you got that. Look at the 38 fib level. You got a nice pin. Yeah, you got a nice pin bar, red pin bar. If you go across there,
this one. Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's your lower high.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go up. Then you've pulled back to the 61.
Pull back to 61. Yeah, here.
Yeah. So what I'd be looking at now is a pull. Right, I would let the price run, and to the next all-time high. Then I would be looking for a pullback around 69,000. So if I was to buy Bitcoin, I'd be looking at that entry there.
So you'd be looking to get in here, somewhere up here.
No, 69.
69 is where we are now.
No, the price 69,000 is in blue. Just below that.
This one.
Yeah, I'd be looking at a pullback to around that level there.
And you'll be going long.
Might be going long from there, yeah.
I got you. Okay, makes sense.
So I wouldn't be looking to short right now because it could be hitting an all-time high. We don't know where it's going to stop, but I think when it pulls back, it's going to pull back to $69,000. So if I was to take a trade, I'd be looking again in a long position in there, and I'd be looking to put my stop just under that 61.8 level fib.
Okay, that sounds good. We should revisit this. We have this on record. We can always look back and see what happens after the week's done.
Yeah, but that was like a 5-minute analysis.
I'm just joking.
Yeah, I would like about 30 minutes on the chart. But hindsight, just what I'm seeing, I just think, we're going to smash through that all-time high. There's going to be an influx of new money. And then what we'll see is a rug pull back down to 69. A lot of the new money will be taken out. And then the buyers will come back in around that price and push that price up to another all-time high. So for me, Bitcoin's looking bullish. I think if you're a Bitcoin hodler or holder, I think it's looking good, especially, if you've been holding since around, the 40,000, 50K mark. I think you're looking good for the next year or two for sure.
Yeah. It's interesting. Bitcoin's 24/7. It'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow and Wednesday. Sorry, tomorrow and Thursday. Yeah,
so if we go to can you see the 21 on the bottom? Where we got that pin bar?
21.
The bottom of the chart. So is it October the 21st?
October here.
Keep going across to the 21st. You can see 21 on the bottom.
Oh, this one.
There we are. Yes, you can see that red pin bar there. So once we start breaking those lower highs, we're in a reversal, right? We're not in a bullish trend anymore. So once we break these levels, the market's downwards, right? So we're invalidating these levels. So once we start to break those pin bars from like November I think it's the 8th or the 9th, and then once we break that, potentially that's a move to the downside. That'll be one confirmation. Then if we went to October the 23rd,
this one,
the 25th, is it?
This one.
Yes, if we broke that and we broke the 23rd, that would be 3 confirmations. We've broken 3 lower highs. So we would be in a downtrend then, and I'd be looking for short positions.
Okay. But as long as we stay above 69, then we could see all-time highs potentially.
Yeah, I think so, and I think we will as well, especially with the election going on. I just think safe money is going to go into gold and crypto, apart from Ripple, apart from XRP, because that's just stalled at 50 cents, right? I could do a PJ back and just give me an update on XRP. So P, when you're watching, let us know when you're free, because we need your help.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We're coming up to 10 o'clock over on this side, and a few more things I think I wanted to touch on. But what are you thinking in terms of gold? You think gold is moving higher in the next week? Is it a similar sort of thinking process?
Yeah, that very similar. So if I can, let me share my chart with you. So yeah, let me take us onto H4. So it's a bit more confirmation. Yeah, it's a little bit messy because I got all my M5 scribbles. Right, so if we look in here, so we got, it's such a messy chart, but okay. So we got a trend line here, right? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I'm expecting us to break through that trend line, pull back. We could be looking at going up to 2,800 on the futures. We got what I call wiggle room, which we have a lot of. Okay, and then for myself, if I was to do it, I'd be looking at that.
Would 2,800? That's the all-time high on the futures.
It would be, yeah.
Okay.
So we got confetti out for that. Let me have a quick look. So looking at that for myself, I'd say we're in a downtrend. So I think this level here, this level is quite key. If we break that level, potentially we're looking to go long.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just tidy this chart up. It's quite messy. So at the moment we're in a downtrend, right? So we've had a nice push up, but so here we are. We've got a higher high here. Yeah, lower high. So 1, 2, 3. So at the moment it's on the H4. It's looking on a downward trend, but if we break this trend line here, potentially we could be looking for a push up to this level here. But I'd be sitting on my hands if I used to trade gold long time. Just a quick look on H1. So yeah, my chart's not as tidy as yours, but yeah, it's a higher high here, lower high. So this lower high here, it's not valid anymore. You can see the price broke through.
Yeah.
So it's taken this validity out, right? So we tested that. I think if we break this lower high again, so I'd be saying around here, if we were to break this level, I'd be looking at going long on gold up onto this price here. So okay. I wouldn't be looking to take a trade on gold long term at the moment. It's quite unsettled. So I'll just use the GAN box to show what I'd be looking at. So it is messy, but yeah, we're in some consolidation here, right?
Yeah.
Today so
was that as well.
Yeah, so I'd be looking at a breakout from that level. But luckily for me, I only trade on the M5, so I don't have that headache. But yeah, so higher high here, lower high. That lower high was taken out here. So that's normally a good test. Normally we could come back to retest that. And then I would be looking at something like that.
Okay. Okay. So that's testing. Was that a lower high? Or
Yeah,
that's
so there's a lower. Let me zoom on in for you.
Yeah. Okay. Got you.
Yes, there's a lower high here, but
Yeah.
this candle here broke that lower high, so that's not valid anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
been invalidated, right? But
Yeah.
it did reject off that resistance or that supply level there. Yeah, it's what I'd like to see. Is I'd like to see the price push through this supply or resistance level, open and close above it. I think you would get a pullback, then we would get another push up. So if I was to trade, if you said, right, take a trade right now, I'd probably go long. But I wouldn't be looking to take a trade until we got a break above here. Then I'd be interested in that trade.
Okay.
But like I say, I got the easy way out because I just trade on the M5 for a couple of minutes a day. So
yeah, that makes it a lot easier to manage. Yeah, I think. Yeah. I like the thinking, and I'm curious, just curious to see what happens tomorrow. It could just be, gold to the moon, Bitcoin to the moon.
Yeah, I've said that so many times about crypto. I've been a moon boy since 2017, and I'm still working 2 jobs, and drive a broken down car. So yeah, I'm not going to say crypto to the moon. I think crypto. I think Bitcoin could hit all-time high, but I'd be very cautious then. I'd be very cautious to buy at that price. But sod's law, if you don't buy at that price, and then it does, like you say, it does moon, and then you've missed out. But I expect to pull back to 69,000, and then I would be interested in taking a long position as a trader, not as an investor.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, so that's the two different things, right? If you just buy in a couple of $100 worth of Bitcoin every month, you're just accumulating it, compounding Bitcoin, just to get that one Bitcoin onto your ledger. That's totally different from taking a day trade. So when I say I'd be buying at 69,000, that's a day trade, and I'd be looking to get out around 65, 66.
Right.
Yeah, so there's a difference between holding Bitcoin and trading Bitcoin, and yeah, some people don't understand that. So,
I mean, we've talked about it a lot. It's about the time frame, right? Are you, just like you said, what is your time frame? And that answers so many questions. That gives you so much information. If you're looking for something to hold for, like you said, an hour or a day, that's completely different than somebody who is actually accumulating and holding it for their retirement or to pass on to their kids. Exactly
that. If you're buying a couple of $100 a month, you're not going to miss it. And, the price will move up and down, but in 10, 15, 20 years, you're hoping you've made the right choice and the price should push up, right? But yeah, if you're looking to trade, they're just two different animals. And I'm a trader, really. I'm not a hodler. I have got some crypto in storage, but it's not doing very well. So I need to catch up with PJ and talk to him about that.
Yeah, we got to get PJ on the show. We will get PJ on the show.
So yeah, I think I'm actually going to call it a day.
Yeah.
There's not much happening. Just it's up to you. We can stay on if you like.
Yeah, I think you call it a day for now. I think live to fight another day. I will mention, so today I was very disciplined. I said I'm not going to trade S&P. And of course, like as you said earlier, the market had other ideas and it was a great day to have traded. But that's exactly how it works.
Yeah. Same here. So after a session this morning, I locked the account, right? Yeah. And then I watched every trade come in on the M5, and everyone hit profit. Everyone. And I was just like, why did you lock the accounts?
That's it. So actually, I was going to ask you about that. So, can you override it? Is there like a emergency, unlock?
No. Once you lock yourself out, you're out. So you're out for the day, which is really good, right?
Yeah, because it stops cheating.
It's a really good feature, and it just stops you.
So you'll be able to get. When does it unlock? At midnight or the next morning?
Yeah, it's the next morning. So I'll quickly share Top
Okay.
Step X now. We finish off then.
Are you? Did we mention you're going to be on the show? On their show? Or?
We didn't mention it. No.
Okay, sorry. I thought we did.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm waiting for the call back for those guys. So yeah, on our 50K express count. So this is some real dollars from Top Step. So I'm up 990 at the moment, and that's in 2 weeks. So what's that? Just over $400 a week on a 50K account. That's pretty good.
That's good. Very good.
Yeah, happy with that. And obviously with Top Step, you get the chance to have 5 accounts. So what's 400 times 5?
2,000.
Yeah, it's $2,000, right? So it'd be $2,000 in a week. So like I say, living in the UK, I'd be happy with that. And the 100K combined challenge that we're doing, so we're sitting at 1.6. So we're a quarter of the way out to pass in that. So my plan is to get this passed by the end of this month and get on the 150K challenge then for December. And in January, we are trading for real money. Let's go. Yeah. So
nice.
Yeah. So we're quite happy with that. And yeah, we have covered all these trades live on YouTube as well. So it's a long watch. It can be boring. It is quiet. I am tired at 6 a.m. in the morning, so I'm just there sipping my coffee, being miserable. But yeah, if you want to join in and watch me take the trades, you can. And I do go through my strategy in quite some good detail as well. So any questions about how I trade, why I trade, etc., just drop it in the chat, and I'd be happy to talk about it.
Yeah, fantastic. I like the fact that it's all been documented, and Top Step as well. They've been on board all the way through and interacting with your posts, and it's definitely been a long journey. It's not been easy and not without any losses, or let's call them expenses.
Yeah, it's
well done.
It's more difficult on YouTube. Well, it was. Not so much now, but when I was first doing it on YouTube, I was overcautious, maybe a little bit scared to take a trade because the whole world's watching, right?
Yeah. No,
yeah,
That's natural.
Like I tell people, the internet's forever. So once you post something, once you send something, it's out there. There's no taking it back. So, but I'd rather be transparent. So, if I win, we win together. If I fail, we fail together. But, we try and learn the lessons and move on.
Yeah. That's a great attitude. And you can look back, when you have your $1.3 trillion, you can look back and say, oh, remember in 2024, remember we recorded all the trades. It's a nice little keepsake.
Yeah, the only thing I will say to the chat or to whoever watches is the day I disappear is the day I made it. So, you'll be waiting at 6 a.m. the next day, thinking like, where's Andrew? Where's this Welsh boy? Yeah, I'll be sipping pina coladas in South America somewhere. So, good luck.
Yeah, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, and I really believe that.
Yeah, the two of us, we worked really hard at this, and we've given a lot of effort to YouTube as well. So, I think we will see the fruits of our labor soon enough. But you just need to keep going, right? I know what trading can bring to me, what it can bring to my life, and it is tough. It is painful, trying to trade and work the 9 till 5 as well. it is tiring, but I just know potentially in 6 months' time, I could be in a totally different place. I'm in a good place now, don't get me wrong, right? But I could be in a much, much better place. So the opportunities that it brings. So if anyone is a trader, if you're struggling, just don't give up. Don't give up. Just keep going.
Well said. Well said, Andrew. Yeah, we got
Right,
more shows to come in the future, but I think that's a great place to leave it.
Yes, my final words are, please hit like, please subscribe, please leave some comments, because Mandela and I, we are going to make trading great again.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
yeah,
Andrew.
I wasn't doing my Donald Trump impression. We're traders. We're great traders. Best traders we've ever seen.
It does sound like something that he would say.
Yeah, I actually ran something on ChatGPT earlier, and he does repeat his words, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, may the best person win, and so all I say is, whoever wins, please just do the best for us people. Please bring some world peace.
Yes.
Yeah, and please let us, live our lives as we want to live them, within reason and within the laws of the land. But for me, world peace, and please do the best for humanity.
Yep. That's it. That's it. Thanks, Andrew. Thank you.
Yeah, a bit of a deep exit then, wasn't it? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But,
it is very deep.
yeah, but that's how I feel. I think the world governments have a massive responsibility to us. They serve us, right? We're the ones that pay the taxes, we're the ones that pay the bills, and they have a duty of care to us. And for me, I just like to see everyone get along. Yeah, and that's it. So yeah, may the best person win, and I'll catch up with you tomorrow.
That sounds good. Thanks, Andrew.
Excellent. Thanks, Mandela. Speak to you soon.
Take care.